Alright, so good afternoon, Dr. Jones and fellow classmates. My name is Morgan Michael. And before I begin, I'd like everyone to take out their phones. Take them out. Take them out. Everybody. Hold them up, hold them up, hold them up. Okay, it's a good phone you got there. So, unfortunately, well, most of you guys are holding up an iPhone, is that correct? Okay, not you, but I'm speaking majority. Majority of you are holding up iPhones. So, iPhones are made by Apple, which gets to my next point. That it's possible in today's world to become a multimillionaire by dropping out of college, essentially. So, this is inspiring to me because me too, I might be on my way out because it's just not the road for me, and I can become a multimillionaire too. So, today I'd like to discuss with you guys a couple of geniuses who've done just that, all from the American garage. Apple's been on the market for some time now. It has had rapid growth throughout the late 1900s due to two college dropouts, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. A little bit about Steve Jobs. He first began his education at Homestead High School in Illinois, and then proceeded on to Reed College in Oregon. This here is a picture of Reed College. If you guys would like to pass that around. Alrighty. And Reed College is where he historically dropped out to start Apple with the other Steve. In less than 2 years of his dropout, they finished the Apple I, which, if you guys don't know, the Apple I was the first computer and the first design that Apple made. The reason they made this device was personally for college notes, and that's that of such, just for them, the personal use. But Steve Jobs had another idea. His idea was mass production, which is where Apple took off. And with mass production, with the help of Ronald Wayne, they were able to make this happen. Apple made its name with Steve Jobs' idea of mass production, which is why he's known as the iconic figure for Apple. In 1976, the first Apple I was priced at $666.66 because Steve Wozniak admired repeating digits. And the first designs of Apple was actually credited by Steve Wozniak. He was the first person to actually start designing these Apple products with the help of Steve Jobs, obviously, but he was given the majority of the credit for that. Sources indicate that sales jumped from $7.8 million in 1978 to $117 million in 1980. It's $100 million within the span of 2 years. And this is all due to the assembly line. The Apple I was great and all, but Steve Jobs had the idea of constant updates and began to design new gadgets such as the first iPod. This is the assembly line that people were being worked on, and this is the first iPod that many of you will recognize, which came out about 10 years ago. Not 10 years ago, 15 years ago. The first iPod originally had 5 gigabytes of data, and it was priced at $399, which most iPods and iPhones nowadays, you can get that price for about 128 gigabytes, if not more. My apologies. The first iPod was actually released in 2001. And Much of the newer technology by Apple, such as MacBooks and iPhones, were introduced in actually 2006 and 2007. And that is where Apple really took off. That's why I had you all take out your cell phones. And this is where I'll get to my next part. 50% of Apple's revenue comes from iPhones. And you can see, so it's safe to assume that every year when you see the jump in the iPhones, the new update or the new iPhone's coming out because more people are going to buy it. And that's why most of you may not know this, but when Apple releases a new update on the phone, they purposely include the not harmful, but data, but like data that your phone can't handle, which will force you to upgrade to a new phone so they can keep getting your business back and more and more and more. And that's why they keep coming out with new products so they can do the same. As of now, they came out with the AirPods, which they're already talking about coming out with a second generation AirPods, which you already know how popular AirPods are nowadays. People are buying them off the market. And it mainly, Apple mainly took off with the iPhone to begin with. People just fell in love with that, and as I said, they kept buying and buying and buying, and as you can see in the graph, numbers went up every time a new iPhone came out. Alright. At this time, if there's any questions, please feel free to ask. You guys would like to pass this around too? This is the original garage. Nothing major. Nothing Tony Stark garage. Nope, just classical American. Alrighty, thank you for your time.